Have you ever wondered what shaped Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States, into the leader he became? Let's take a journey back in time to the early days of his life and see how his experiences molded him into a transformative figure in American history. Barack Obama's story begins on a sunny day in Hawaii on August 4, 1961. Born to a Kenyan father and an American mother from Kansas, his multicultural roots were established from the very beginning. This unique blend of cultures would later play a significant role in shaping his worldview, embedding within him an appreciation for diversity and a deep understanding of different perspectives. But his exposure to different cultures didn't stop there. At the tender age of 6, Obama found himself moving halfway across the globe to Indonesia, following his mother's marriage to his Indonesian stepfather. This move, while challenging for a young child, was instrumental in his personal development. Living in Jakarta, he navigated a complex cultural landscape, learned a new language, and experienced life from a completely different standpoint. It was a formative period that further enriched his multicultural perspective, fostering within him a global outlook that would later become a hallmark of his political ideology. Throughout his childhood, Obama encountered a myriad of experiences and cultures that shaped his understanding of the world. These early experiences instilled in him a sense of curiosity, a knack for diplomacy, and a profound respect for diversity. They played a vital role in molding his character, influencing his beliefs, and ultimately guiding his approach to leadership. As we delve deeper into Obama's life in the upcoming scenes, we'll see how these early experiences provided a strong foundation for his future endeavors. From his multicultural upbringing to his time in Indonesia, each piece of his past contributed to the remarkable leader he became. From an early age, Obama's unique upbringing began to shape the man he would become. And as we'll discover, this was just the beginning of a fascinating journey that would lead him all the way to the White House. Where did the intellectual grounding of Barack Obama, known for his eloquence and thoughtfulness, come from? Well, to answer this, we have to rewind the clock back to his high school years in Hawaii. Obama's formative years were molded under the Hawaiian sun, surrounded by the rich cultural diversity of the islands. His academic prowess began to shine through during his time at Punahou School. More than just a scholar, Obama was a curious mind, deeply interested in social issues. He was a voracious reader and showed a particular interest in the works of philosophers, sociologists, and novelists who addressed questions of identity, justice, and the complexities of human nature. From the tropical islands, Obama's journey took him to the bustling city of Los Angeles. At Occidental College, he dove headfirst into the world of politics. He became an active participant in campus debates and discussions, often voicing his thoughts on social justice and equality. It was here that he first tasted the power of collective action, organizing his first political protest against the apartheid regime in South Africa. But Obama's thirst for knowledge was far from quenched. His academic pursuits led him to Columbia University in New York City, where he majored in political science with a specialty in international relations. The intellectual rigor and diversity of Columbia further nurtured Obama's interest in politics and social issues. Then came Harvard Law School. Not only did Obama graduate from this prestigious institution, but he also made history as the first African-American president of the Harvard Law Review. His time at Harvard was instrumental in shaping his legal acumen, his commitment to social justice, and his belief in the power of grassroots activism. So, where did the intellectual grounding of Barack Obama come from? It was a blend of his Hawaiian upbringing, his immersion in the scholastic circles of Columbia and Harvard, and his early political activism at Occidental. These experiences provided the nurturing ground for his eloquence, his thoughtfulness, and his dedication to public service. The seeds of Obama's future political career were sown during his educational journey. How did Barack Obama transition from a student to a community organizer and then a politician? This is a question that sparks curiosity, as it uncovers the journey of a man who would later become the 44th President of the United States. In the mid-80s, fresh out of Columbia University, Obama moved to Chicago. There he began his career as a community organizer. With a heart full of ambition and a mind filled with ideas, he worked tirelessly to improve the living conditions in some of the city's poorest neighborhoods. Obama's work was not glamorous, but it was fulfilling. It was this role that planted the seeds of his political career as he began to understand the power of grassroots movements and the importance of community involvement in bringing about change. After several years in Chicago, Obama decided it was time to further his education. He packed his bags and moved to Massachusetts to attend Harvard Law School. His charisma, intelligence, and leadership skills did not go unnoticed. He made history by being elected as the first black president of the Harvard Law Review, a prestigious legal journal. Upon graduating from Harvard, Obama could have gone anywhere, but his heart was in Chicago. He returned to the city that had shaped his early career, this time as a civil rights lawyer. He worked at a small firm, representing victims of housing and employment discrimination. This work further deepened his understanding of social justice issues and cemented his desire to effect change on a larger scale. So how did Barack Obama transition from a student to a community organizer and then a politician? By immersing himself in the communities he was a part of, by advocating for those who couldn't advocate for themselves, and by never losing sight of his commitment to service. Obama's early career was marked by a commitment to community service and a growing interest in politics. When did Barack Obama officially step onto the political stage? That's a question with an answer that takes us back to 1996. That year, a young, ambitious lawyer named Barack Obama made his first foray into elected office by running for the Illinois State Senate. He won, marking the beginning of a political journey that would eventually lead him to the White House. During his 8-year tenure in the Illinois State Senate, Obama amassed a record of legislative achievements that showcased his commitment to social justice and economic reform. He worked on bills that reformed healthcare and education, provided tax credits for low-income workers, welfare reform, and increased subsidies for childcare. He also played a key role in the passage of legislation that tightened ethics standards for all state officials. His work didn't go unnoticed. His reputation as a thoughtful, effective legislator grew, and so too did his political ambitions. In the year 2000, Obama sought to take his political career to the next level by running for a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. Despite a spirited campaign, he was unsuccessful. However, failure didn't deter him. Instead, it spurred him on. He learned from his loss, refined his message, and continued to build his political base. 4 years later, in 2004, Obama once again threw his hat into the political ring, this time running for the U.S. Senate. His campaign was marked by the same commitment to social justice and economic reform that had characterized his time in the Illinois State Senate. His message resonated with voters, and he was elected to the U.S. Senate, becoming only the third African American to achieve that feat since Reconstruction. But it was an event during his campaign for the U.S. Senate that truly catapulted Obama into the national spotlight. That summer, he was chosen to give the keynote address at the Democratic National Convention. His speech, with its message of hope and unity, captivated the nation. He spoke of the audacity of hope, of the belief that in America, a skinny kid with a funny name who believes that America has a place for him too can achieve anything. That night, millions of Americans got their first glimpse of Barack Obama, and they liked what they saw. With his election to the U.S. Senate, Obama's political career was on the rise. His journey was just beginning, and the country was about to embark on a journey with him, one that would lead to historic change and challenge what was thought possible in American politics. But that is a story for another time. For now, we'll leave it here. Barack Obama, a young man from Chicago with a law degree and a dream, stepping onto the national stage and preparing to make history. Did you know Barack Obama has a surprising talent? Yes, our 44th president is known for his eloquence, his diplomacy, and his historic tenure in office. But there's another side to him that's perhaps not as well known. Obama is a serious basketball fan and player. He's been playing the game since his high school days in Hawaii, and he continued to indulge this love for the sport during his presidency. Underneath the suit and the presidential demeanor is a guy who loves a good game of basketball. This passion for the sport is so deep that he even had a basketball court installed in the White House. Yes, you heard it right. The White House, that symbol of American power and prestige, was also home to some pretty intense basketball games. From the basketball court to the highest office in the land, Barack Obama's journey is one of determination, resilience, and commitment to public service.